This is the MG Comet EV and we have a fully electric car over here. Let's check out how practical this car is for your day-to-day usage. I am Harshvardhan and welcome to Gaadi Ki. Talking about the exteriors, in the front you have the small tiny bonnet underneath which sits a 17.3 kilowatt battery which powers the entire car. You have two LED headlights which are bright. You have a front charging port over here which you can directly connect so that you can charge your car once it is drained. You have a massive continuous running LED strip in the front and a massive chrome piece running from your mirrors from the left side all the way till your right side. Talking about the tire, it is just a small 12-inch tire which is pretty small for this particular car. Now, since this car is just a two-door car, it is pretty massive to open and you also can access your rear seats. Now, coming to the rear side of this car, you have a electric badging over here which is pretty big and you have your tail lights which are well integrated. To enhance the futuristic look, they have added a fully functional LED strip which runs throughout the boot. We have a rear camera over here, we have the MG logo and the Comet, Internet Inside badge and your tiny EV badge. Let's check out the boot. Now, this boot doesn't really have any boot space apart from which you can keep your charging cable and your tire inflator in this and probably a small bag. But you can also recline your rear seats so that you can make some space and have your luggage at the back. Now this comes with a round steering wheel which has got two dial modes on the left and the right side, few dummy buttons just to not leave the space hollow, and you have got your volume rockers on the right side. Coming to the compartments, you don't get any glove box but you have a small space where you can probably keep a phone or two. You have two cup holders which are right in front of the AC vents. Now you can keep your phone, you can keep your tea or coffee or your drink, but again if it's a hot drink you will get it cold because of the AC, which is not really nice. If you happen to keep your phone in that, your phone is going to freeze like an ice block, right? Coming in the other side, you have a fully single unit of an infotainment screen and also your speedometer, which are a single piece. Again, the infotainment system is a 10.25-inch screen which has wireless Android Auto and also Apple CarPlay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this door is pretty massive. That is why you also have a provision to keep a lot of things on the side. You can have a water bottle, you can have your documents kept, or you can have anything or the other placed on the door pockets. Now, the steering wheel looks futuristic as I mentioned. It has got two dial modes on the left. From the left one, you can control your instrument cluster on the front, which tells you trip details. And you also have the power output and the delivery shown. And on the right side, you have your volume up and down and your playlist controls over here as well. You also get a MG Connect Assist. Now, they have an old school way of having your AC controls. It is a rotating dial and not any buttons. And you don't have a weather temperature. It is just low 1, low 2, low 3 and that goes on. So this car has got a lot of circular elements. Your AC dials and your AC modes are all circular knobs. You don't get a gear lever but you get a gear dial which just has reverse, neutral and drive. You don't get a P mode, so you might worry about how this car functions. Well, you also have a economy, normal and a sport mode button. Depending on your riding style, you can always choose one of them, and again based on that your ranges also vary. One of the things that I didn't like about this car is this seat belt. There is luckily a seat belt hook which can make it accessible. If not, the accessing part of the seat belt is way too behind once you're sitting. So it's going to be very difficult for you to get the seat belt if it is not put through this hole, because it is way behind to get hold of it and then pull it back and strap on yourself. Now, one of the most craziest feature of this car is it doesn't come with a start stop button. You can just sit inside your car and just double tap on the brake pedal once and your car is all set to go. So now let's talk about the drive quality of this particular MG Comet EV. So this car is pretty simple. You just put it to D and you just get going. You don't have the P mode, it's just the neutral and the handbrake. So you just put it to the D mode and then you get going. You get three different modes, that is the sport mode, that is the normal mode, and you also have the economy mode. Now the economy mode is the most suggestible one and on which they have based the kilometer range. But if you are going to be continuously using the sport mode, please don't expect it to be giving you a really high kilometer distance, because all the batteries and all the power is going to be fully utilized, and you'll have the power, you'll have the thrill, but you won't have the range, right? Apart from that, the drive feeling, everything feels really nice. So you have a pretty huge wide view, you don't have to be cramped. But yes, once you're sitting inside with fully 4 people, it is going to be a little cramped. You are going to be rubbing your shoulders with each other. Now since I'm a thin person, I don't have to be worrying about the co-passenger. But if you're a fully built and a huge person, you might be rubbing your shoulder to the co-passenger as well. Now the rear seats are pretty comfortable, but for a tall person, it is not going to be up to the mark. You will have a little lack in the under thigh support, so you might have to take a beat on that. Again, that is going to be fine if in case you're not going to be going on really far distance. Maybe for a 10-15 kilometer range, you will be fine with this particular thing. Now again, the steering wheel, the console, the drive, the handling is all very nice. Now since this is a small car, you don't have to be worrying about your U-turns or your turning radius. You have a good 4-meter turning radius, so if in case you happen to be stuck in a narrow road, you can just easily maneuver it through because of the compact size and also the turning radius. Now the steering is pretty easy, it is pretty light. You don't have it very hard on the car, you don't have it very hard on the tires. You can easily maneuver around even in the city traffic, and it is not at all heavy. It's not at all it is very comfortable when you're driving, and especially when you're on a a short trip. Let's say if you're going 30 kilometer distance on a highway, it is very comfortable, and you don't have to worry at all. So speaking about the suspension is a little stiff, and since you don't have much ground clearance, you might have to take it a little carefully on the corner, on the speed breakers, or you might want to take it a little careful on the ditches. Now, the biggest question arises over here is it worth investing 10 lakh rupees on this particular car? On a full charge, MG claims that this car goes up to 230 kilometers, but on real testing, we figured it out around 150 to 180 kilometers based on your riding style and the riding modes you're on. Well, let me remind you that if you're driving it during the night times, it is going to consume much more charge because your headlights, your drive modes, your AC, your music system and your phone charging, everything is fully functional, then this battery consumption is much and your kilometer range equally drops down. So if you're a person who travels from point A to point B and back, maybe this can be a car for you. Let us know what you think about this particular MG Comet EV down in the comments below. Hope you like this particular video. Subscribe to Gaadi Ki for more such amazing videos. This is Harshvardhan signing off. See you in another such video.